I think the awful lot of human history is driven by technological change, and technological change is an outcome. And I think the two key underpinnings are first property rights, including intellectual property rights. So if you create an idea, can you patent it and benefit from it? And more generally, can you invest and open a factory or a store or whatever and benefit from your idea? So property rights are critical. And then I'm a big believer that international trade stimulates technological innovation. I think that people get new ideas by interacting with different economies and different cultures, and they get the opportunity to, if they have a good idea or a good product, international trade gives them an opportunity to benefit from a very large market. So I think a lot of economic history can be understood in this interplay between property rights and international trade. And the countries that are currently the richest and most developed, like the United States and the United Kingdom, are countries that developed well-defined property rights hundreds of years ago and have generally been believers in free trade going back hundreds of years. So they've put this system in place over a long period of time and have generated tremendous wealth and tremendous human progress. And now we see big developing countries like China, which had gone down a different road for a while, turning and seeing that China was falling further and further behind, and now they've very much switched and they're trying to develop the institutions of property rights, and they've definitely opened up to international trade and international investment in a big way, and they're getting tremendous results from that. And then unfortunately, you look around the world and I see quite a few developing countries still that have very weak property rights and are largely closed to the world market. And these are countries that, they're the ones you read about in the press because there's civil wars going on, or they're stagnating and there's a lot of crime developing, or different types of social problems. So I think we're seeing the world split to some extent, not between the rich and the poor, curiously, because countries like India and China are definitely not rich, but they have gotten onto this bandwagon of developing property rights and integrating with the global market. And then there are other developing societies that just have not gotten onto that bandwagon, and they're falling further and further behind. I think it's very simple and intuitive. Property rights means that you keep the efforts of your work. So at the most fundamental level, if you're a peasant, you work your field, you grow your product, you either eat it yourself or you sell it, it's yours. And so that creates incentives for people to work hard. It's true if you're running a factory as well. But then when you bring in intellectual property rights, it becomes more powerful, because it says not only can you own a factory or a farm, but you can also own ideas that you've created, new technologies, or a wonderful work of literature, or a Mozart piece of music. These are all intellectual creations over which people can have property rights under some systems, and that stimulates invention. And then when you ask, how do you benefit from this effort or this invention, it depends a lot on the extent of the market. This is an idea that goes back to Adam Smith. If you've got a very small market, then it's nice that you have a nice idea, but you're not going to get tremendous benefit from it. But if there's a huge global market and you have some powerful new invention, you can get phenomenal benefit by selling it worldwide. So I think the combination of property rights and having a large market, which is, trade creates a large market, these really create powerful incentives for technological advance, and that's what really drives the global economy and drives human progress.